Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside the whole crew Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. And oh my God, what have we just witnessed here tonight? Okay, this has been a crazy day in the world of professional wrestling. Many things have broken down. Everything is exploding during the week of Survivor Series, guys. A major shakeup on SmackDown Live as we know it. Rumors swirl today that Becky Lynch has suffered an injury, that she might have been out of the Survivor Series. Michael Bullock came to me about this news earlier today. Derek Ferreira also posted, and then around 5 o'clock this afternoon, the heartbreaking news. Becky Lynch is out of the Survivor Series. She's injured. A concussion and broken nose that was suffered last night during the brawl at the end of the night. Nia Jax hits her with a forearm to the face, breaking the nose. You saw the blood all over the place. We didn't know where it came from or how bad was the extent. And then we just found out the devastating news that Becky Lynch is out. We will address that because we got into it tonight on the show. I think we're still reeling over what just happened just minutes ago, but we got to start at the beginning and what we started it off from St. Louis, Missouri, at the Emprise Center. It started out with AJ Styles cutting a promo, talking about his 371 days reign as WWE champion. Then it was interrupted by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman came out. He started talking stuff. Daniel Bryan came out, and then a match was made. That's right. Later in the evening, it was confirmed. Daniel Bryan gets a shot at the WWE Championship. However, because he did that, Daniel Bryan has been removed from the first Survivor Series squad, meaning that with that announcement, now SmackDown Live has a little bit of a conundrum. Because remember, going into the five were The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, Shane McMahon, and Rey Mysterio. Unfortunately, now we're down to 4 men because with Daniel Bryan being removed from that fight, we just lost a man. We lost a spot. This stinks. But great opportunity for Daniel Bryan, a great opportunity for him to possibly become the WWE champion because this is a rematch of a match that went down a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown Live when Daniel Bryan was fighting AJ Styles. Remember, initially, this was supposed to go on down at Crown Jewel, but because Daniel Bryan, political views, and everything that had happened prior to Crown Jewel, didn't feel comfortable and asked to be removed from the fight. He was. Now, he gets the opportunity of a lifetime to go after the most prestigious title in WWE history. I say segment of the night. This was great. This started out tremendously. I love the body of work of everybody involved. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Give me your thoughts, and I'm glad that you were able to get your connection issues straightened out as well.
Yeah, at least for the night. But anywho, yeah, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, what a day. I mean, Derek Ferreira posted about it. You posted about it, and I talked to Bullock about it. We had a SmackDown chat this evening, and oh my goodness, I mean, we're all still trying to recover from what just happened moments ago. But man, what a way to start it off. I mean, we thought it was going to be AJ cutting a promo on Brock Lesnar, and then Heyman shows up, stirs the pot, and then Bryan and Styles get into a major brawl, and man alive, and then it spills over into the backstage area, into the general manager and commissioner's office. I mean, oh man, I mean, what a way to start it off. I mean, great intensity, just great action all around. I mean, segment of the night, and we get a title match on the show tonight. I don't know what else there is to say. So, segment of the night, absolutely, without a doubt. So, there's nothing more to say on this. Michael Bullock, I mean, so that happened.
Yeah, it did happen. I mean, what can you say? Segment of the night, I mean, Paul Heyman and AJ Styles had a nice back and forth, and as soon as he mentioned Daniel Bryan comes out, and then we get a little brawl between the two. We had officials and, of course, coming out, and Shane McMahon trying to stop this, and it continued basically in the back, and that's when Shane McMahon says, "You know what? Tonight it's gonna be AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan." And Florio and I, we were like, "What? Did we just hear that?" Boy, oh boy, and with major implications, because whoever comes out the WWE champion not only is the champion, but has a date with the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, this Sunday at Survivor Series. So, nothing more to say. Segment of the night. Dee Wood said, I mean, this was crazy.
Oh yeah, total chaos. I mean, but what do you expect? You know, you had Heyman show up. You know, we had the ladies' invasion on Raw and Heyman's invasion, I guess you can say, on SmackDown. And he did his part. He got in the head of AJ. He managed to arrange the combustible that we got between Bryan and AJ, and yeah, it's just, you know, he managed to do what he came out there to do, and that was to mainly get in the head of AJ. And so yeah, definitely segment of the night, definitely very much storyline based. So yeah, not much more I had to say about it. So Fletch, next, what's next?
All right, and we started it off the first fight of the night as it was Jeff Hardy going one-on-one with Andrade Cien Almas, and one of my personal favorites, Zelina Vega is back. Oh, that beautiful angel was outside the ring. However, she wasn't able to help her man tonight because Jeff Hardy gets the victory at 8 minutes and 11 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. Jeff Hardy not only wins the match, he just got the golden ticket. He's going to be SmackDown member for Survivor Series.
Absolutely. 2.5 stars, maybe 3. I mean, a solid match here. A good first-time matchup here. I mean, El Idolo comes up short, but Jeff Hardy, man, I mean, what a moment for him. Now, he's now going to be on the men's Survivor Series team, and we have another match coming up in a bit that had some implications in there as well. But a nice win for Jeff Hardy, and Bryan's out, Hardy's in. So we'll see how that all goes down on Sunday night. If that's gonna help SmackDown Live, or if that's gonna benefit Raw. We'll wait and see. So what a moment. So good match here, 2.5, maybe 3 for the effort. So one of the top fights of the night. It's not the fight of the night. I think we all know what that is. So there's really nothing more to say. So Bullock, your thoughts on Hardy and Almas? You know, we thought this was a good match.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a good match here, and I'll give it a solid 3 stars. I mean, I thought the body of work in this match was really good. I mean, when it comes to this, I mean, basically, I mean, nice first time match with these two, and yeah, like you said, Jeff Hardy not only getting the victory, but now getting that golden ticket to be part of the SmackDown Live Men's Traditional Survivor Series team going up against Team Raw. So, yeah, nice win for Hardy, but I continue to be impressed every day with Andrade Cien Almas, and this is why we've heard those rumblings of he's going to be getting a big push, and we just saw another reason why. So, I really got nothing more to say. 3 stars. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Definitely 3-star match. Very well done. You know, it's actually good to see Jeff get a win. You know, after you know, all that stuff going on with Orton and everything that he's been through lately, and then seeing him actually, you know, top off Almas tonight. But so yeah, it was a very good opening bout. Not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, solid fight, no doubt about it. I would say 3 stars too. I think it was a good match, solid fight. Really nothing more to say. Then we had a backstage segment. Basically, The Miz tried to throw Rey Mysterio out of the team. The Miz now deemed the captain of Team SmackDown going in because with Daniel Bryan challenging for the WWE title, he's no longer in play. Yes, Jeff Hardy does get the golden ticket, but then The Miz tried to kick Rey Mysterio out of the team, and Paige is like, wait a minute. No. You're the captain, that's fine, but I'm the general manager. You want to kick him out, we're going to have to do this the right way. You get a match with Rey Mysterio. If you beat Mysterio, then Mysterio is out. If he wins, he stays. Fair enough. So, well, after that, we had an interview. Dasha Fuentes does an interview with Shinsuke Nakamura, promoting his match with Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins for Survivor Series as Nakamura, the U.S. champion, Rollins, the IC champ, and we'll go from there. So we do have the match, Miz versus Mysterio. Major implications for the Survivor Series. Rey Mysterio wins the match at 9 minutes and 43 seconds. He defends his spot on Team SmackDown. Then Randy Orton came up, tried to get his hands on Mysterio. Well, Mysterio ducked out before the Viper could strike. But The Miz was left for the taking. Boom! RKO out of nowhere! Michael Bullock, it's all yours. I know you loved it.
Man, oh man, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, first off, I'm gonna give this another solid 3 stars. I mean, I thought both men, I thought looked really good in this match, and yeah, I mean, I think we had a feeling. Well, I had the feeling Rey Mysterio was gonna win and stay on the team. Although Anthony Florio over here, he told me during our chat that he thought The Miz was gonna win via basically cheating just to get Rey Mysterio off the team. Well, that did not happen. So yeah, and then the Viper striking out of nowhere, trying to go after Mysterio, but The Miz, well, unfortunately, he gets the taste of the RKO, and it seems as though Randy Orton's not done with the Miz. I mean, I mean, I think there could be a possible feud somewhere down the line with these two. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Fletch? I mean, with the way Randy Orton continues to go after Rey Mysterio, because
I think the Miz was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I think it's more that Orton is still peeved over that upset win that he had at the Crown
and let's not forget one other thing.
That he wants a piece of Rey Mysterio more than anything else. As far as The Miz goes, that was a one-off. But I will tell you this, The Miz is probably a little teed at the Viper for doing such a thing like that. But then again, it's Randy Orton. He could do whatever he wants to whomever he wants. He could RKO anybody from any time, any place, anywhere. That makes Orton's character so you don't know what he's gonna do. It's kind of one of those.
Well, let's not forget also, Fletch, that maybe Orton still has some unfinished business with Mysterio from 2006. Because remember,
possible.
It was Rey Mysterio that got the pinfall on Randy Orton at WrestleMania 22 that got him the World Heavyweight title, and I'm pretty sure the Viper hasn't forgotten about it since then.
I don't I get where you're coming from with that, Bullock, but I just don't think that would be the logical explanation. I just think it's more the crown jewel victory than anything else than way back when we're talking about WrestleMania. But then again, we never really had a true resolution over why Orton's picking a fight with Ray. But, that could be, again, anytime, any place, anywhere. Pick a spot. But we'll wait and see. But right now, that's another thing. Orton is a major wild card because he's in no matches, and he's been trying to pick off guys left and right lately. Where's your loyalty, Viper? What are you going to be doing on Sunday night at Survivor Series? That's what I'm wondering now. But then again, Bullock, if you're finished with your thought, Didi, it's all yours.
Yeah, I'm done. But here's the thing I'm finding out right now. Regarding the mixed match challenge, it was supposed to be AJ Styles and Charlotte against Miz and Asuka, but after what we saw, it's now Jeff Hardy filling in for AJ Styles.
All right.
So we got Jeff Hardy and Charlotte.
All right.
So let's move along, Fletch.
So Didi, it's all yours, my love.
What was your rating, Bullock?
I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was a very good match. I really enjoyed it. Was not surprised to see Orton come out at the end because he's moved on to his next target, which ends up being Ray. And anytime that Miz can take an RKO, you get a thumbs up in my book. So yeah, Orton, you got a thumbs up just because of the fact that I'm proud of you for taking out Miz. It's no secret of my love lost for Miz. So and it was, I didn't think that was right for Miz to even put Ray on the plate to be possibly knocked out of being in the Survivor Series anyway. I mean, yeah, he was Daniel's pick, but he had already competed in the match, and he had already agreed, yes, that he was going to be in there. There was no reason for him to even question it. So, I think in the end, Miz got his just desserts by not only losing the match, but getting an RKO in the end. So, I'll toss it back to you, Fletch.
All right, and I agree, 3 stars. This was a good match, solid fight. Well done by everybody involved. Rey Mysterio, look, guys, ever since he's gotten back in the ring, he's looking very good, very sharp. Nothing bad to say about it. I'm glad he's going to be at the Survivor Series representing Team SmackDown. I was a little concerned. Anthony, you did bring up a point with Michael Bullock, and I know Bullock did bring it up about the concern that Ray could lost that fight and get knocked out. And then the question I would have had was, what would happen if he did that? Well, I would have said a couple of things could have gone down. Number one, it could have been Andrade Cien Almas's spot. Number two, could have that been Randy Orton's spot to be on part of Team SmackDown. As everybody knows, Randy Orton is a multi-time winner of the Survivor Series elimination matches. And as a matter of fact, if you want to call it the first ever Raw versus SmackDown showdown that they had, which was Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, if you remember, Randy Orton won it for Team SmackDown. He was the sole survivor, knocking out Shawn Michaels at the end. Anthony Floyo knows it better than anybody else because we were there together on that fateful night when Randy Orton won. And Floyo could tell you the story of what I was doing, but let's just say I was definitely in a celebratory mood at that moment. So nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, it is all yours, brother.
I still can't believe. After all these years, you still gotta rub my nose in it on that one. Ugh. I'm trying to get that one out of my mind. It's like the Monday Night Wars, player. You're going to lose this one, too. Yeah, T-Lo. Yeah, I remember that very well. But
yeah, Raw got beaten that night.
What did MF do? Oh, I'll tell you what MF did. He bounced around the living room like a
kid at Christmas time.
Yeah, and nearly knocked over the Christmas tree. That's how excited he was. So, man of heaven. But yeah, but all kidding aside, solid match here. I agree. That was about 3 stars, most definitely. I did raise to Bullock about my concerns, because of what was going to happen in the main event. And, I guess not. So Ray stays. So I guess the team is now The Miz with Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Shane O'Mac, and Samoa Joe. That's still a good 5. That's a good core 5 right there. So we'll see if they can get it done against Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman, Balor, and Lashley. That honestly can go either way because both teams are even. That's all I can say on that. We'll get into that Friday night, but for right now, I'll go with the group. Solid 3 for that fight, most definitely. So, they proved me wrong. So much for my way of thinking. Now let's move on, MF.
All right, and the next thing we had was the big announcement. Basically, Paige comes out, introduces all the women of SmackDown Live, and said that Becky Lynch has suffered a major concussion and a broken nose and was unable to fight at Survivor Series, and that Becky was now going to have the unenviable task of picking her replacement for Survivor Series. Becky comes out, cuts a passionate promo, very upset, very devastated, as we know. Basically said that, she got to Ronda Rousey, she armbarred her, made her scream, and that she was gonna prove to her that Ronda Rousey is not the baddest woman on the planet, but the luckiest woman on the planet. Well, now she had to make the replacement choice. Goes over, looks at each and every member of the SmackDown Women's roster, and then She made her choice. She has selected the queen. Charlotte Flair now fights Ronda Rousey Sunday night at Survivor Series. If there wasn't, I think Derek Ferreira put this best. This was the best case scenario for everybody involved. Basically, in the immortal words of WWE 2K19, they had chicken crap and they ended up making chicken parmesan with it. They had a whole bunch of lemons. They made lemonade with it. Because now they might have just created what could be a possible 4 horsewomen of WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of MMA. Derek Ferreira's scenario went down like this. Charlotte Flair fights Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. It does open the door for possibly Becky Lynch to fight Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble in Arizona at Chase Field in Phoenix. That might open the door for possibly a 4-on-4 4 horsewomen of WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of MMA at WrestleMania at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New York, New Jersey. If that is the scenario, if this is a long-term play, dude, WWE, shut up and take my money. I'll gladly take all of this. So let's see what happens. But until then, Dee Woodson, it's all yours. Becky Lynch out, Charlotte Flair in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who else could you pick? I mean, yeah, it would have been a dream match to see, Asuka versus Ronda Rousey, but, you're looking at, what used to be the 2 best friends, and they basically, I think, they're near the end before, Becky stepped out. I think they broke character just a tad bit, when they were hugging and whispering in each other's ear and stuff. I think they broke a little bit of character there, but I mean, who else would you pick? Charlotte has been one of the longest we've had on Smackdown that's held the title before Becky, stepped in to retake it, and we've had Carmella that's had it and everything, but Charlotte's had both titles. She's been there. She's done just about everything you can do. Yeah, she calls herself the queen. She's a Flair. Flairs have a way of doing what they do best, and what they do best is right there in the ring. And her putting all her faith back in her former best friend just shows you right there, that even though it got to that point, it's still there. She hasn't completely turned her back on her, because she made the best choice, and the best choice is Charlotte. So yeah, this has to be the second best segment of the night, because there's just no way of doing it any other way. But now we have a void in the ladies Survivor Series. So now we have to wait to find out who's going to fill Charlotte's spot on that team. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. So Fletch, I'm going to toss it back to you.
Absolutely. We do have a void now. Charlotte Flair is now taken out of the fight, which means, and me and Michael Bullock kind of got into this when we were talking about it. And the only other possible replacements, I mean, you're looking at is either one member of the Iconics or Mandy Rose. It could be her. I mean, I know that unless there is an ace in the hole that we're completely missing that we don't know about, that it looks like that could be the roster that could be heading to Survivor Series. But we'll wait and see what happens. Yes, it is a Raw deal. Becky Lynch, I was so excited for her to possibly get an opportunity to fight, but unfortunately, as many of you guys know, Becky Lynch will not be a part of the Survivor Series. Devastating loss, to say the very least, but they made something out of nothing. They got an opportunity. Now we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. I mean, you're talking, this is another dream fight. This is another great matchup, to say the very least. Yes, there was no heat. Nothing was built up leading into the match. But, I mean, Charlotte Flair's record and pedigree and everything that she has done for Team SmackDown, she definitely is worthy of the spot. And no doubt about it, this is going to be a great matchup, to say the very least. There's really nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, I take it to you. I know it's a devastating loss that we're not going to get Becky versus Ronda because of how great the storyline and everything was building. But, hey, we got a legacy fight here. Ronda Rousey, one of the greatest MMA and definitely the brightest star on WWE, versus practically one of the best women in the WWE roster combined, Raw or SmackDown, when you're talking about the Queen.
Of course, MF. I mean, wow. And I was proven wrong again. I told Bullock this during our SmackDown chat, that when Paige brought out everybody, I mean, all the women were in their ring gear. And I had thought maybe there was a small chance that Becky was actually going to drop the title and then have the other women battle for the title in a battle royale. And then the winner from there would go on to face Ronda at Survivor Series. So that plan was off the table when they said that Becky was going to hand-pick a replacement. I'm like, okay. But Bullock and I, we definitely agree. We knew it was going to be Charlotte. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better one. I mean, you think of what Becky and Charlotte have gone through over the last 3 months. I mean, ever since SummerSlam, when Becky turned, I mean, great promos, that 5-star last woman standing match that stole the show at Evolution like we all knew it would. And then they not only shake hands, they had a long embrace. And the only thing that would have put that over the top is if they did the tea bit that got them so much love, during the spring and the summer, when they were doing that sip the tea routine. That's the only thing that's what they should have done to cap it all off. That would have really solidified it there. But nonetheless, there is one thing that was that I do have to point out. Did you hear the pop that Asuka got when Becky Lynch approached her? Did you see how ready and willing Asuka was to get herself in that match? Asuka's chomping at the bit right now for those big money matches. And in my opinion, WWE really should start giving them to her. However, I am glad it wasn't Asuka. Because if there's ever a time that we get to see Asuka and Ronda Rousey in the same ring, it better take a lot more than 5 days to build it up. That's all I can say on that. It's not often I say this, but I would have to maybe say co-segment of the night, because that opening segment was just wow. And then another wonderful promo from Becky Lynch. And I'm going to go on the record here, right here and right now. Female superstar of the year for 2018, hands down, is Becky Lynch. MF, it took me a while, But I finally get it now. I finally get why. But these last, 3-4 years, you've been gaga over Becky Lynch. I get it now. It wasn't just her beauty. It was also her in-ring ability and her all-around performance. Now I know why you love Becky Lynch, and that's why she's forever your girl, man. That's all I can say. I'm not touching that one with a 29.5-foot pole. So that's all yours, brother. So
I agree. She's definitely the WWE female wrestler of the year as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's almost a unanimous vote, and I think even every outlet will most likely declare Becky the winner as well. I think right now, if you're talking about even the PWI rankings, I would be stunned, shocked if Becky Lynch does not lead the list. One person who I might think has a chance at stealing #1 is actually from Impact Wrestling. I think it could be Tessa Blanchard, because she is right there. Absolutely. She is right there for possibly the PWI Female Wrestler of the Year. I mean, it's neck and neck right now between Becky Lynch and Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard is the knockout of the year when it comes to Impact Wrestling. That's a no-brainer there. But anyways, getting back to this, I mean, this was just a great segment, and so much for that little scenario that popped into my head. I mean, I thought Becky's injuries were going to be too serious that she was going to have to relinquish the title, and then they were going to put it up in a battle royale, seeing that all the women were out there in their gear. That's the only reason why I thought that. But the question is, what does it mean for the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series team? You still have one. You still have one spot to fill. I mean, you've got Carmella, you've got Naomi, you got Asuka, and you got Sonya Deville. Does Mandy Rose get that last spot? Does one of the Iconics get it? Or does somebody out of left field get it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They're probably going to save it for Survivor Series. That's my guess, or unless something comes out of the blue here. So, but nonetheless, co-segment of the night, because that opening segment, like I said, the intensity of that, I can't ignore. And then this great promo from Becky, and then the little mini reunion of her and Charlotte. Like I said, I only wish they would have done the sip the tea bit. That would have put it over the top for me. Just saying. Nothing more to say here. So, Bullock, I mean, it's not often we say it, but I think this is one of those rare times where we should say co-segment of the night between that opening intense segment with AJ and Bryan and then this.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has got to be the co-segment of the night. I mean, just the way Becky, I mean, was so passionate in her promo. I mean, saying how disappointed she was that she can't finish what she started on Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. And I mean, yeah, like we all said, this is definitely, I mean, we all agree Becky Lynch is definitely going to be the female wrestler of the year as far as I'm concerned. And this is why Fletch has been so much into her for the past 4 years. Well, now you're seeing it here, and the fans just adore her, and she made the right choice in going with Charlotte Flair. And yeah, I mean, and I think we're all in agreement, especially with what Derek said. I think this is the start of a build to the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen 8-woman tag at WrestleMania. So I think this is the start of it. So where it goes from here, we're just gonna have to wait and find out. So can't wait to see what goes down with these two at Survivor Series. So yeah, nothing more to say. Let's just move on.
All right, and the next thing that we had was a matchup between the Bar and the Big Show versus all 3 members of the New Day. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 9 minutes and 21 seconds was the Big Show and the Bar. But Then, big announcement, guys. The SmackDown roster is complete. That's right. The Usos came out with Primo and Enrico the Colons, the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and members of Sanity, and they all had SmackDown t-shirts on, which means one thing, guys. There is your 10 for the SmackDown side of Survivor Series. The New Day, the Usos, the Usos, the Cologne, the Good Brothers, and Sanity. And as you guys know, the Bar will be going up against AOP, the Authors of Pain, in the SmackDown versus Raw Battle of the Tag Team Champions. So, decent fight, good match, kind of slow, plotty, nothing too significant. So at the end of the day, I'll give this about maybe 2 stars. Worst fight of the night by default. Really nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, I give it to you.
Well, that's because of Big Show, man. I mean, he ain't getting any younger, you know. But no disrespect. I'm just being honest here. But you know, you're right. 6-man tag. I had high hopes for this going in. The finish was kind of rushed. Well, I think we all know why it was rushed, because they obviously wanted to give the main event some significant time, and which was the correct call, by the way, especially after what happened. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, the Bar and the New Day always work well together, but the Big Show, you know, he kind of slowed it down. But hey, he had the spot of the match, though, the winning fall. Kofi going up and then bam, knocked him out. That's your ball game. So yeah, the New Day will now join the Usos, the Good Brothers, Sanity, and the Colognes for that big 10-on-10 tag team Survivor Series matchup. I mean, other things that we need to talk about. I mean, you know, I was not really interested in this match because it's not really anything new and there's no weight on it for Sunday. I would have rather this time been used to say something about the fact that there's 3 open spots for the tag team elimination match. But the Big Show, I mean, he tagged Cesaro outright as he was about to do the Cesaro swing, which was great. But we got what we wanted anyway. And after the match, you know, the Usos approached all 3 of those teams, the Colognes, the Good Brothers, and Sanity, to get them on SmackDown Live's team. There was something very uncomfortable. There's something very uncomfortable about the fact that Sanity is planning on playing nice with everyone. But I think we're now aware of how annoyed we get that kayfabe gets dropped for this event. The Usos, in my opinion, they're the perfect captains for the team, realistically. When they lead the teams as they all approach the camera for that promo, it just looked bad. Good bad, of course. Usos are as tough as they come, and that's all the legitimacy you need to put Team SmackDown over on this one. But I got a feeling after this match is over, Sanity is going to attack the Usos and set up a feud for those two. Sanity really needs airtime desperately. And a random attack, even in the name of a quote-unquote unity match, is so in character for them. So that's just some thoughts that I had. So, yeah, I'll give you 2 stars. I'll give you default worst fight of the night. I mean, that's all I can say on that. So, but that 10-on-10 tag team elimination match, it's on the kickoff show. I know there are some people who probably don't like that, but hey, it accomplishes their goal, you know? They always want people, they always like, we got to find a way to get people to tune into the kickoff show because nobody gives a damn about the kickoff show. We do now. That's all I can say on that. So, and hey, the cruiserweights are getting an opportunity on a pay-per-view. About damn time. Nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely a 2-star match, no doubt about it. Yeah, by default, it was the worst fight of the night. So, yeah, you pretty much touched on everything. So, Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree with all the sentiments. So, not going to add anything to it. So, let's move on.
Guys, it's time. The main event. for the WWE Championship. It's Daniel Bryan going up against the reigning champion AJ Styles. So much riding on the line. The title, the chance to fight with Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series as the SmackDown representative and as WWE champion. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 20 minutes and 19 seconds and the new WWE champion, Daniel Bryan. He wins the championship. He goes to Survivor Series to fight Brock Lesnar and ends the 371-day reign of AJ Styles. But then after the fight was over, Daniel Bryan goes straight up heel, beats the living daylights out of AJ Styles to the stun of everybody in St. Louis, Missouri. What in the hell happened here? Anthony Florio, explanation.
I don't know you a damn explanation, MF. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just having fun here. You know me being the heel. You know me. If I was doing the heel thing on SmackDown Live, I would have been absolutely loving this. I would have been like, what is the, you probably would have done your, what's the meaning of that, MF, or something like that. And I would have said, I don't know you a damn explanation. That's all there is to say. Of the night, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was everything. This was even better than the match we had 2 weeks ago. And, well, I guess you can say the Yes Movement has officially died this evening in St. Louis, Missouri. And isn't it a coincidence that 13 years ago today, Eddie Guerrero passed away? What was Eddie known for? 3 words. You know the 3 words. Lying, cheating, and stealing. Do you consider this a coincidence by any chance? I think not. That's exactly what Daniel Bryan did here tonight. Lying, cheating, and stealing. He is now the WWE champion once again. I mean, I thought maybe they were, I mean, but turning him heel to do it though. I mean, wow. None of us saw this coming. I mean, and he got heat for it. The fans turned on him. They booed him. That shows you how much they love and respect AJ Styles. That's all there is to say on that. And he solidified the heel turn, and they're booing Daniel Bryan. That was very quick. Social media is absolutely blowing up right now. And that's where I found that lying, cheating, and stealing quote. I mean, one fan compared it. I mean, considering that it was 13 years ago today that Eddie Guerrero passed away. And Eddie was known for lying and cheating and stealing. And so, yeah, you got to go on social media right now. It is absolutely blowing up. Daniel Bryan is damn near trending at the top right now. Gee, I wonder why. So, yeah, I mean, Bryan and Lesnar, this is a match we've been wanting to see. I mean, Paul Heyman came out. He talked about it. Went on. I mean, man, I mean, I'm at a loss for words. It's not often I say that, but I'm at a loss for words. I mean, he's got the, he's oh, and here's another tweet. It says, the American effing Dragon is back. Daniel Bryan is the WWE champion. Oh my God. And then another, here's another one that we gotta, it says Daniel Bryan is the most bulletproof person in wrestling. He flat out refused to wear Crown Jewel and is basically rewarded for it. WWE championship reign, his dream match, a new creative direction, and no more yes chance. Things always work out for him. That is so true. And the one question, I mean, but nonetheless, I mean, to cap, and then here's another one. To cap off an insane episode of SmackDown, Daniel Bryan beat AJ Styles to win the WWE title just 5 days before Survivor Series, then turned heel. He will meet Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. Styles is not in a match. Is he injured? Leaving? Well, we're going to have to look into that. I mean, man alive. But let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves, folks. I mean, you remember Daniel Bryan many moons ago said that his dream match was Brock Lesnar. Am I not right about that? Didn't Daniel Bryan go on the record and say, I want to fight Brock Lesnar someday?
Yeah, he did. He's getting it now.
What is LA going to be like for that match? Both of these men are technically heels, so I don't know who's going to get the. Now that Bryan has turned heel, are they gonna cheer for Lesnar now? Or
I don't think Lesnar's getting cheered. I think you're gonna see the IWC or the holdouts try to will Daniel one more time, but I don't know. I mean, this is gonna be pretty tough to call, to say the very least. But one thing's for sure now. It might open the door for AJ to be a part of Team SmackDown at the Survivor Series. If you think about it, the Miz got taken out. Maybe they sell the Miz's injury because of the RKO and insert AJ there.
Very possible, but remember
that would increase the odds for SmackDown winning.
What about what Bullock just said? AJ Styles did not work Mixed Match Challenge tonight. Jeff Hardy did.
Well, he could be selling the injury for tonight. That's a difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he's only selling the injury for tonight. That's why he wasn't on the Mixed Match Challenge.
Yeah, but that would open the door for him to possibly come back. As a matter of fact, that actually might just open the door for him to win the Mixed Match Challenge if you think about it, because now with the added incentive that the winner of the Mixed Match Challenge gets the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble match for the men and women. Who knows?
And now I just found this very interesting tweet that just came out. Since Daniel Bryan's heel turn pretty much cancels out The Miz winning the WWE Championship, they should book Aleister Black versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I think it would be great. Wishful thinking there, dude.
Yeah, I think that's wishful thinking, folks. I don't know.
That would be amazing, though.
It would be amazing,
but
it's
wishful thinking, but I just don't see it happening.
The problem is, Aleister Black would have to lose. No, they could. The only way that would happen is they would have to call him up. Then, some way, somehow, he has to win the Royal Rumble. I don't think that's gonna happen, guys. Unless they send him to SmackDown and then they do something after the fact, because I think a lot of people are pretty fired about maybe seeing it go. But I don't know. I think that seems a little far fetched to me, at least in my mind. So, Floyo, go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah. Man alive. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, a lot of fans are saying that Daniel Bryan's best work was as a heel. I mean, back in the ROH days, and I know MF would probably agree with that. Going back to the ROH days, I mean, because we all know how MF is when it comes to that. But man alive, I mean, what now? What now? That's all I can say on that. What now? I mean, I had a bold prediction for Bullock. I said when this match was made, I said Daniel Bryan's winning the belt tonight. I'm not surprised I'm right. I'm just surprised at how we got there. So say what you want, but the Yes Movement on November 13th, 2018, the Yes Movement officially died tonight. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. Bryan and Lesnar. That's going to be something else. I mean, MF in your immortal words, and in Gorilla's words, it's not only going to be something else, but what a matchup that's going to be. So that's all I can say on that. So 4.25, 4.5 stars. And Michael Bullock, I mean, there's nothing left for me to say except Yes Movement officially died here tonight. The Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I guess we can say with sadness that the Yes Movement has officially died tonight with this heel turn of Daniel Bryan. So, well, I guess you know what that means for you now that the Yes Movement has died.
No.
And you know what else that means? We're officially out as the president and vice president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement.
It will always have WrestleMania 30, buddy. That's all there is to it. We'll always have WrestleMania 30.
We'll always have that, but I think we just turned in our resignation papers to Daniel Bryan. So, yeah,
And it's very funny. And it's very funny, Bullock, because I'm actually right now wearing the Daniel Bryan Fight for Your Dreams shirt. How ironic is that?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure, Floria, you're gonna take it off after that. So, yeah, 4.25, 4.5. I mean, what can you say? This was indeed, like you said, the fight of the night, hands down. And well, we're getting that dream match now with Lesnar and Daniel Bryan now. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. Which side the Yes Movement will be, or which side they'll be cheering for. So it'll probably be Daniel Bryan one more time before we officially get the heel turn begins for Daniel Bryan. So yeah, nothing more to say. This was indeed the fight of the night. So Dee Woodson, the Yes Movement is officially dead.
Yeah, I hate to say it. It is. It's officially dead. Or at least until he decides to do another turn. They released, I guess you can say they released this on Twitter for the WWE Champion and Universal Champion match. So they've already got the poster changed with Daniel up there with the title. So yeah, it's pretty much official. You know, we've got at least one new champion tonight. We have and we have someone representing the women's champion on Smackdown because of that injury. So definitely things have been shaken up. You know, not only with this, but I mean all through SmackDown and on their teams. So I mean, yeah, we've just got a lot that's happened. But this definitely was the match of the night. I'm going 4.5 stars with it. It was, I mean, taking a word from AJ, it was phenomenal to watch these two guys just go at it. Or you can go with JR and say this was a slobber knocker of a match. It was that just that good. I mean, they went head to head, toe to toe. They pretty much, you know, gave it their all. And there was like one little point in the match where you kind of see Daniel's head wheels turning in his head. But you know, in my case, I was kind of expecting Daniel to turn because when Brie and Nikki were on Raw, you know, they went heel. So why wouldn't he go heel after his wife went heel? So that would be my logic for it. Not everybody thinks like me, but that's just me. I guess that's all the experience I've had watching since the age of 13. So yeah, you know, amazing match. Now we have a completely new setup. there's no build up now for this match because this was the go home show. So now we'll just kind of have to see how this plays out. Lesnar, I guess, did not want to face AJ, which is why Heyman came out and got in his head at the beginning of the show. Now we have a new champion that Lesnar's going to face, and we get to see what's going to happen out of this. And Friday, we'll all talk about who we think is going to actually win this match. So, hey, congratulations to Bryan. Not totally surprised on the heel turn, but, kind of halfway expected it. So now we'll see what happens when we get to Survivor Series. So, Fletch, it's yours.
Overall review time. Michael Bullock, I know you normally are not ready. So, Dee Woodson, why don't you lead off and give us your overall review of SmackDown Live?
I'm going to hit it pretty high, and I'm probably going to hit it higher than you guys. I'm going to give it 9 stars because all minus one match, we had nothing but Survivor Series build-up. We had nothing but storyline progression. We had everything that you should have leading up to a major pay-per-view. And we really technically did not have any low points in the whole show. Unless you want to call the 6-man tag a low point. Because it was the only thing really not completely tied to Survivor Series. I think it was just basically showing what the two teams can do since they're both in the Survivor Series, because neither one of them have any matches against each other on that, seeing as the bar is going up against AOP and New Day is in the tag team Survivor Series match. So yeah, I would say pretty much this whole show was pretty much just centered on Survivor Series. It was a great build up for it. SmackDown, as usual, knocks it out of the park, proving why they should be the A show right now over Raw. And I guess when we get to the Survivor Series, we'll find out if that actually happens, that they do become the A show. But yeah, I mean, this was just total storyline progression, total build up. Even more than what Raw actually had last night. So, as far as if I wanted to take a guess for who would fill in for a possibility for the Ladies Survivor Series, one person I'd kind of like to see that kind of made her debut not long ago was Nikki Cross. I'd like to see her step up possibly into it. You could pull, anybody off of NXT in there. But on the existing roster, I'd have to say it'd have to go probably to Mandy Rose, because I don't see the Iconics or Lana really deserving a shot at it right now. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. I will see you guys Friday night. Good night.
All right. Honestly, I wasn't thinking that high. I actually wasn't thinking 9, but Dee Woodson made some very compelling arguments, and I can't go against her. 8.5 to 9 out of 10 is my rating for tonight's show. I think she absolutely nailed it. SmackDown Live is roaring into Survivor Series. Definitely, everything was leading up and it was looking great, and then all of a sudden, with the stunning announcement that Becky Lynch is out of the Survivor Series, things got thrown into haywire. So what happens? SmackDown Live announces that Charlotte Flair is going to represent SmackDown Live when she fights Ronda Rousey. Great. Now we got to find out who's going to replace Charlotte on Team SmackDown. I mean, it could be anybody. So hopefully we'll get an announcement soon enough on that front. But more importantly, you got to celebrate this new WWE champion. That means the WWE versus Universal Champion fight has just been altered right before our very eyes. It's not a rematch of a year ago. It's a fresh new battle and a dream fight, to say the very least. So, I mean, all in all, SmackDown Live did a great job completing the storyline, keeping everything in perspective. They did great. They did great. Nothing bad to say. 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
I'm still trying to put it into words here, but yeah, SmackDown definitely wins the week here again. You thought last week's show was newsworthy. Oh no, this week's show was even more newsworthy. For that alone, I had to give it 8.5 to 9. And then, of course, you had the main event, which stole the damn show like we all knew it would. And, but hey, everything that went down tonight, I mean, like I said last week, I thought last week's show was the most newsworthy. Oh no, this week was even more so. Becky Lynch out of the Survivor Series. A little mini reunion with Charlotte Flair to make that official. And then rounding out the Survivor Series teams. And then to top it all off, Daniel Bryan not only winning the WWE Championship, but turning heel in the process. I mean, oh my Lord. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, the craziest SmackDown Live. This is going to rank up there as one of the greatest SmackDown Live shows of all time. And you're absolutely right, MF. I mean, SmackDown Live is rolling into Survivor Series. Monday Night Raw is a mess. I mean, Raw may have won the last 2 years, MF, but I think this is the year SmackDown Live is going to take it here. So that's really all I can say on that. I mean, I'll always have last year when it comes to Monday Night Raw, but I got a sneaking feeling that SmackDown's going to win the thing this year. So we'll see how it all goes down. But nonetheless, 8.5 to 9. I can't go against it either. I mean, Bryan and AJ, the women's segment with Becky, the opening segment, which I still can't get over, that spilled into the GM and commissioner's office, just amazing. So, what else is there to say? Michael Bullock, I mean, this is one SmackDown chat we're never going to forget. I mean, not just the one we had in Providence, wink, wink, but I think this one right here, wow.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a SmackDown chat that both you and I, Florio, will never forget. I agree with everyone. 8.5 to 9 out of 10. What a show. And SmackDown, like you said, is definitely going in with some momentum going into Survivor Series. So, yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much touched on everything. So, there's really nothing more to say. So, Fletch, are we going to do are you doing a Mikey's Mindset?
I am doing a Mikey's Mindset.
All right, then it's all yours, my friend.
Ultimo Lucha Cuatro. I'm going to go very quick because I want to get the hell out of here like everybody else. It started off with the Lucha Underground Trios Championship, the Reptile Tribe, the Rabbit Tribe, and Evilise, KO Licious, and Sammy Guevara. And when it was all said and done, the Reptile Tribe wins the match. They successfully defend the championship. Next up, we had was Dalia Mundo versus Ricky Mundo in one-on-one. Dalia wins the match. And then in the third fight of the Ultimo Lucha, we had the Son of Havoc going one-on-one with Killshot, Mask versus Mask. Killshot loses his masks and actually reveals himself as a former lieutenant of the United States Army. As there was a story about it that Killshot was an AWOL. Basically, he saw a couple of his buddies get killed in combat, and that he was so ashamed of what had happened that he donned the mask as a way to show the embarrassment and the failure of him and his platoon. That, you know, that's why he did the kill shot moniker. A very emotional moment, to say the very least, at that point. Then we continue Ultimo Lucha Tres, or Cuatro, I should say, with Phoenix versus El Dragon Azteca Jr. Phoenix wins the 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere match. And then during that match, Melissa Santos got affected. Phoenix kind of gave her kind of more of a death stare than anything else. She ran off and left the arena. And so Antonio Cueto made a big announcement and hired Saul Guerrero, or for all you NXT marks out there, Raquel Diaz, if you remember that. She filled in as the ring announcer. Then Famous B tried to kick Saul out the door, and oh no, you do not mess with the Guerrero and think you're going to get away with that. She went all excuse me a la Vicky Guerrero and basically did an undressing of Famous B, basically saying about how what her family means to professional wrestling, to lucha libre. The next thing you know, Chavo Guerrero showed up and a 2-on-1 beatdown started for Famous B. The Three Amigos by Saul honoring Eddie, and then Chavo finishing him off with the infamous frog splash from the top rope. Famous B gets laid out. Next thing we had was a death match. The Mac versus Mil Muertes. The Mac actually wins the match and then does a grave consequences by putting Mil in the casket and closing the lid on him. Then we had a sacrifice to the gods. Johnny Mundo going one-on-one with Matanza Cueto. Johnny Mundo actually got the victory. Big win for him. Then we had Pentagon Dark versus Marty the Moth Martinez in a Cero Miedo match, which is basically no DQ, no disqualifications for the Lucha Underground World title. Pentagon Dark wins the championship back. He's a 2-time champion, but the party is very short-lived because Vampiro attacks Pentagon Dark, and his apprentice or master showed up. We never knew who it was, but his master beat the living hell out of Pentagon Dark, only to lead to Jake Strong, the Gift of the Gods champion, to come out, cash in the title to get a shot at the Lucha Underground Championship, and Jake Strong walks out with the belt. He's the new Lucha Underground champion. Then craziness after the show ends. The Gauntlet of the Gods was in play as basically Matanza Cueto gets killed right before our very eyes with that gauntlet getting stabbed right in the chest. Then basically Jake Strong ended up with the gauntlet at the end. And then in the limo, you had Jake Strong, you had Antonio Cueto, you had 2 other individuals. Stu Barrett is also in that limo. Yes, I'm afraid we got some bad news when we're leading into part 5, season 5 of Lucha Underground. This was insane. Best show of the year, and they delivered it. WWE, especially Monday Night Raw, take notes, please. This was at least a 9 out of 10. Ultimo Lucha Cuatro absolutely delivered, and is proven why they are one of the best wrestling companies in the world today. So nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Why don't you set the table for what we got for the rest of the week?
Well, because of our Survivor Series show, guys, we have to push our football shows up a day. So we have to do college football tomorrow night. What time is good for you guys?
10 o'clock.
Perfect. Okay. So 10 o'clock it is. And how about for the Thursday show, for our NFL Thursday show for this time?
Same time?
Yeah, same time.
All right. 10 o'clock on that too.
All right. Very good. All right. So I just wanted to be sure on that before I did anything else. You know me. So, okay. So normally tomorrow would be our off night, but because we have a big show on Friday, we have to move our shows up a day, and which doesn't really work out for me because I won't have any material to work off of. But I'll do my best though. Week 12 of college football. I mean, we're getting close to the end, guys. I mean, we have a few decent matchups on the college football schedule, but gentlemen, we all know what the game of the week is. And it involves my team. It's number 12 Syracuse. It's number 3 Notre Dame, Yankee Stadium. Do I have to spell it out for you anymore? There are some other good matchups, though. We've got Utah against Colorado. We got West Virginia against Oklahoma State. Let me see, what else do we have? Cincinnati against UCF. That should be a good one. Iowa State going up against Texas. And Arizona against Washington State. But, gentlemen, again, I say Syracuse and Notre Dame. That's it. So that all goes down tomorrow night. We'll run down all those games. Let me just do a quick total here. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, we got a lot of games to get into, bottom line. So we'll try to get through those rapid fire as best as we can. And then, so that's tomorrow. And then Thursday, we have NFL Thursday, a special Thursday edition of the NFL show. We get into week 11. The game of the week, we already know what that is. It's Monday Night Football, the Tony and Mikey special. MF and I can already confirm that. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. However, it's no longer going to be in Mexico because the news came out today. The field is unplayable. So it's now going to be at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum instead. So that's how that's going to go down. But that's not the only big game on that slate, guys. I mean, you got a solid Thursday night game with Green Bay and Seattle. You got Dallas against Atlanta, Cincinnati against Baltimore, Minnesota and Chicago, which is now the Sunday night game for the week. It was supposed to be Pittsburgh and Jacksonville, but Minnesota and Chicago now takes that spot. Tennessee and Indianapolis, that became interesting. Philadelphia against New Orleans. Heck, Houston and Washington, that became interesting. So, but of course, it's KC and the Rams. So, oh my. And then Friday night, of course, NXT TakeOver War Games, Survivor Series. And then from there, and then Sunday night, come right back here to Brace Fan 95 with MF, and we'll give you our thoughts on the Survivor Series. So, folks, you do not. If there was ever a time, I always talk at my church. I always talk about for such a time as this. Well, for such a time as this, you don't want to miss tomorrow. Don't want to miss Thursday. You damn sure don't want to miss Friday, and you damn sure don't want to miss Sunday. Do I have to spell it out anymore? MF, wrap it up.
All right, guys. You heard the list, so have a great evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. And until then, hold the hand pounds. We are out. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now.